Hey guys, alright, so this morning I'm going to be showing you guys what it's all about to do some practical application flying. And what I do is I do a lot of game counts, and therefore it's all about flying with a DSLR camera. I fly with a D6 GPS camera that I can take pictures of all the animals that I encounter. I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail later on in the video, but just right off the bat, car's parked out, machine's ready to go, wing has been folded out, and I'm basically on an abandoned runway near a truck stop, and I'm just going to take off, do my count, land again, and do all the data management afterwards, data crunching, and see how many game and things I've encountered. But I am taking my 360 camera up with me to show you how all of this works in practice. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the air. Alright, just a couple of comments with the footage that you're going to be seeing that's overlaid on this. And yeah, what I'm basically doing is I'm flying grid patterns, and when I do encounter the animals, I just go into tight spiral turns. Not necessarily always a requirement to do the spiral turn. Sometimes you can just get the picture straight off the bat, but because of the tree canopy and the way the bush is laid out, usually it takes a while to get a good shot. And basically why I'm taking the pictures is because it's easier for me to do the data compiling afterwards. I can count the animals in the pictures, and I come up with more accurate counts than the equivalent normal system of what helicopters would have a person in the right seat doing the count while the pilot's flying. Paramotors are a really great practical platform if the weather permits, and having an open cockpit like that, not having a cockpit at all, really is a great way to have good visibility and to be able to take pictures. So it's one of those really great applications for paramotoring is photography. Also, the reason why Dudek developed the Report Air was because of the requirement for patrolling, but also the requirement from photographers to have a stable glider that'll stay and fly in a direction so that the pilot can move around and take pictures. Before I show you the photography gear, I want to point out why Nirvana is such a great piece of kit for photography. It's because of the high hang points setup. Now, low hang points, nothing wrong with it, but the thing is you've got a lot of weight shift connected to it. You can get the Nirvana air flight in low hang points, and if you lean one way, it's going to induce a turn. Now with the high hang points, that's very limited, and so the air flight is both a high hang point and low hang point capable machine, but it has given us the opportunity for cross-country flying, for the guys to do practical application flying, to keep a direction so you can lean out of the seat, you can take pictures, and you don't have to worry about inducing a turn. So that is why I really like the Nirvana, besides other factors such as really good fuel economy, so I can stay in the air for longer periods when doing a count like this. I've really become attached to the Nirvana as a key piece of kit when doing this practical application flying. Now let me get to the gear. First up, I got this harness, which I think there's several different kinds that you can get online. One of my friends, I'm going to give a shout out to Jean-Francois, met him on the Ecris, and he gave me this harness for photography. I really can't see someone using a DSLR without something like this. Let me tell you why. Because if you look at most videos of paramotor pilots that use DSLR cameras, it's always about tucking it into the jacket, trying to sling it around their neck, and it's an uncomfortable, bumpy, stupid process to try and take off with something that is not secured. Let's get to the camera. So I use a Canon D6 with a 70-200mm lens, and the reason why I like the D6, and specifically the older model D6, is because it's small enough to do photography with one hand on the right hand, because the Nirvana throttle is on the left. Very important, because a lot of other manufacturers they have the right hand throttles, and so how would you do that? So I've had some friends that have told me that they've figured it out, or they've ordered a left-hand throttle, but basically if you're going to buy something straight from the factory, make sure that you have a right-hand throttle so that you are free. This is if photography is important to you. and that your left hand is free. Now, if the camera is small and light, such as this one, with good quality, good imaging quality, then it's easy to get those pictures done, as you can see in the footage that I'm showing. One hand operation, everything, all the controls are just basically accessible in one hand. You can take the picture, you can press on the play button, see if the picture was any good. You can set your ISO, everything else on the fly, and it's all one hand operation. Now, touch it with a tether to the harness, and basically I'd fly to location like this, it's secured, so takeoff is secured, take off, and when I get to near the location I can take this out, put it between my legs, and basically just grab the camera when I do see something. Flying low, flying with a stable glider, flying with a glider that does not oscillate, that is really key to photography. You want to keep your track and you want to induce your turns whenever that is prevalent to the maneuver to get the shot. You don't want to have shaking around trying to get, steering, grabbing both hands to steer all the time. That's not, I wouldn't say that is really prevalent to photography, and that is why Dudek made that Report Air glider. Stable platform to fly straight with, and high hang points. It is the more stable platform for cross-country flying and for rougher conditions. Some of the footage you'll see here, I'm shaking all over the place, but I can keep one hand to just try and stabilize it, and I can keep on focusing on the photography side. Alright guys, so that is it. You got any questions about photography, about using DSLRs in the air, about my experience in photography over the last few years? I think I've been doing it for around 6-7 years, and I'm quite successful with it. I would say on average around between 3 and 4 times the count a helicopter would give to a reserve. I'd be able to do that. I could stay for longer in the air for a lot lower cost, and with the pictures taken with a camera, I can do all the data crunching afterwards, and happy customer, happy brand. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video, and I'll be seeing you soon.